Everybody, welcome! Falcon, Darkwood. I know, get it out of the way. Darkwood, penis joke here, insert it here. I mean, not insert the penis here, but insert the, witty jokes or whatever immature jokes you kind of want to use that I would pretty much use on a daily basis, but that's not what this game's all about. Dark was actually a really serious game, really survival, horror themed in a sense. If I could make a bold comparison, maybe a top-down Don't Starve if you're kind of interested in knowing. This is going to be basically going over the prologue of the game, which is almost essentially the tutorial. I'm planning to actually cover the game more extensively, and we'll get to that. But for now, we're going to basically go through the prologue, so hopefully if you're not cool with that, if you want to see a tutorial thing, then go ahead and skip to the next video whenever that's out. Right now, this is basically something to give people a really good representation of the game, kind of really introduce them to the mechanics so that once we get away from this video, we can start going into more of a free-based type of, more casual commentary type of thing. I'm going to be a little bit more informative on this one, so, if that's not your thing, then, I assure you, watch the next video, it'll probably be more along your alley. Or along your alley, up your alley. Not along your alley, up your alley. Whatever, man, let's get into the game here. Alrighty, so I already have a little profile going on there just to kind of test things out. Whenever you choose your profile, that's going to be your quote-unquote save file. You have the option to turn permadeath on or off. For the sake of this series and this look, we're just going to go with permadeath off. Especially, I think it's going to be more important to go with permadeath on later on once they start adding more and more features because it is an early access title yet, and there's still a lot more to be added. We're not going to skip the prologue because that is essentially our tutorial in a sense, so let's actually just play. Even when I'm asleep, I can't stop seeing their faces. Looking at me with trust. Like I could heal them, save them from the spreading plague. Like I could stop the process which destroys their land, rots their bodies and minds. There is no way out of here. I am stuck with them. With their unending calling, pleading, orals and muttered prayers. Alrighty, so, back in the game here. So this is basically what Darkwood is going to mostly consist of, this top-down look. I mentioned the comparison to, Don't Starve, and I think it's a really adequate one to make. I'm not saying it's like a clone, a knockoff of it, it's far from it, but it does really share a lot of distinctions to it as well. Right here we're going to be basically checking around stuff with our dude. And you basically move around WASD, left shift to run, space to kind of do a few actions here and there, and then your left mouse button and right mouse button are going to be really imperative to a lot of the other actions you will do. For example, examining is going to be left mouse button. I use this to make moonshine. You know what, my friend, that's probably the reason why you're having such fucking bad trips. All that moonshine you're over here chugging away. Alrighty. The other interesting thing about the game is that there is a very emphasis on barricading stuff. You can barricade windows kind of like you would do with Project Zomboid or something to that degree, right? To kind of keep the creepy crawlies out of your base, which is going to be something really important to do later on. However, if you can barricade stuff normally, you could also drag stuff. And then, place them in front of doorways and things like that degree to kind of keep enemies and monsters out, which I found to be really, actually impressive. I really like that little feature of the game itself. Leave that alone, you could actually even push up against it. What I really wanted to point out is the fact that if you can hear that, it's basically very, ambient. I'll shut up here for a sec. So you got that, right? You can hear footsteps, you can hear stuff dragging on the floor, doors opening. It's something that a lot of games do have, right? But I feel this game really went out of its way to kind of capture that really ambient type of sound and kind of get you in the mood of things, which I thought was really, really impressive. Let me close the door behind me. You can only select objects that are within your reach, as indicated by the cursor. So you can't just be basically searching stuff from a mile away, you have to kind of be relatively close to it. This chair over here, let's actually just search it. We're going to find ourselves a camera, my old Zenith S camera. Take this along with us. And a photo. Alrighty, so we have a note found photograph. The date is 12/06/85. This picture is just as old as I am. Oh my god, it's really depressing to think about. Alrighty, we have a radio over here you could examine, you could turn it on or off. I'm gonna keep it off just because, I don't really want to, draw attention to me with making noise. Cage, examine. Cages, this time they're empty. This, by the way, here is really indicative to what will happen towards the end of this tutorial. I'm not going to spoil anything just yet, but keep those cages in mind, and keep in mind who we're playing as well. Let me open this door up over here, and what do we find? Well, we have my bed. Let's examine this bed here. I'm afraid to go to sleep. Well, it sounds like a personal problem, my friend. We have some notes over here. I know these notes by heart. I don't want to read them now. Well, you know what? I don't know them by heart. It'd be nice if you could share it with us, too. A wardrobe and search. Alrighty. For searching items, basically, if you click on them, you'll be able to search them instantly. However, items sometimes have more than one use. For instance, if you hold down left mouse button, you have an option to open or to drag, so always keep that in mind. We're going to open this up. You saw me drag items over. You could also hold control and click, and it'll take one item, or you could do left, shift, and click, and you'll take the whole stack, so keep that in mind. We have the front door key, which is what we need to actually exit out of this area, so that's good. I also want to just right off the bat mention if there's any sort of like frame or lag issues going on, I do apologize. For some reason, the game is not really optimized just yet for a lot of systems, unfortunately one of them. The game was actually running relatively well at a lower resolution for me when the game first released. There's been a few couple of hotfixes since then. If anything, it's actually affected my gameplay more than anything, so I'm not sure what those hotfixes actually did other than just kind of fuck me over a little bit here, but whatever, man. We just kind of bear through it. So, sorry if it's not like, you know, a smooth 60 frames per second, which is basically what the industry buzz is all about right now. We do have the key, right? So I can't just open it. You have to actually use the key itself. How you could do that is, again, by holding down left button, and then you could, you know, barricade or use key. We'll use the key itself. Let's open this bad boy up. And go outside. Pleasant view everywhere, right? Alright, let's have a wooden doll. Let's examine this. That sounds really fucking pleasuring. Well, I mean, not in that way. It just sounds really... I was being very cynical by mentioning pleasuring. A wooden doll. A large humanoid doll with a cutout face. That's very, very comforting. Alrighty, we also have some wooden logs over here. Nothing of value, though. Let's check these bad boys out. We have found some wood and some nail. We'll take those along because that is going to be part of our crafting system, which I will kind of go into soon, but not just yet. Not until the game tells me to do so. There's a rope over here. Sure, we'll take this along as well. And here's our dog. He's looking pretty bad for wear over here. Looks like his stomach's just gutted out over here, just bleeding out. My dog, I don't think he's going to make it. I should end his suffering. But poor Fido. I'm sorry, my friend. I would do it, but I'm not giving an option to. Alrighty. Let's jump over this bad boy over here. Again, space going to be basically basic actions. You'll be able to jump over windows. I know it sounds really silly, jumping over windows, but apparently there's no roofs in this game, so every sort of location has no roof, just a window which you could jump over. Let's check out what's going on in these logs. Some repair kits and some more wood. It's always good, and hey, wait a minute. There's an axe here too. Let's pick this bad boy up. The crafting menu, I guess we'll skip it here for a second until it actually forces me to actually talk about it. Right now, you could press tab to open up your inventory and basically equip items to your hotbar. You choose them with 1, 2, or 3, depending on which. You can also add more hotkeys later on when you level up. There is a leveling system to it, but we'll get into that later. In order to strike, you'll basically hold down the right mouse button, and then left mouse button will do the rest of the trick for you. The lower bar down there is basically the HP of that thing that I was just striking, so it'll give you an indication as to what you're doing in terms of damage. This right here I find really interesting. There's going to be a really big indication that the land that you're in itself is basically almost the enemy. There is a corpse right here of what looks like to be a cow, but you'll notice what I mean soon. Let's just remember that, though. Just remember that. Left shift is to run. Don't get scared and something can come after us just yet. I know. I was shitting myself the first time I played this, thinking, oh god, is that cow going to wake up and just chase me down? Probably is, but it didn't. There went a perfectly good pair of underwear. Alrighty, so nothing's going on over here just yet. There is no escape from these woods. Only the rats can squeeze through themselves between the trees. So, again, going back to the environment kind of being against you, there is a really indication that you can't leave no matter how much you want to. There's also another indication of me being lost, even though I don't really want to. I think we have to keep going down. I always get lost in this fucking prologue, man. It doesn't matter how many times I do it. I always kind of, zag when I should have zigged or something. So let's continue going down over through here. Possible crows or ravens, I can never tell the difference between them. The sounds are really, really fucking ambient, though. That's what I really enjoy about the game, the most and foremost of it. Again, here's another indication of what I talked about. Just, corpses kind of embedded into the earth. Let's grab this matchstick, wood, and rag. All good. I'll just leave you be. You know, peace be with you, my friend. Now, in order to continue over here, these parts of the woods are dark, I should craft a torch. Here's where you basically go into the crafting menu, which I wanted to talk about. For the crafting menu, whenever you do have a recipe that you can build, it'll tell you here, hey, you know what, you have the items to do this, so go ahead and do it. So we will just basically click on it, boom, craft it, you're good to go. Set this bad boy up in number 2 over here. And by number 2, I mean the hotkey, not, you know, defecating. Alright, let's continue going forward. Now we have a way to kind of give ourselves a little bit more light as to what's happening over here. This game also works in terms of field of vision. To harp back on Project Zomboid or something to that degree, if you see it, whatever you're looking at is what's going to be in your field of vision. I can't really look what's going on behind me right now, or to the left of me, right of me, whatever. It's basically what's in your field of vision, so keep that in mind. There's going to be things that could creep up on you, so you have to be really vigilant about things like to that nature. Alrighty, over here we're going to find another fence for us to jump over. So go ahead and do so. Alright. Looking relatively good still. Anything for us to search around here? Not particularly. There is a window here. Let's find out what's happening in this bad boy. Again, there's no roofs in this game. You could easily just jump through windows. Although I assume what it really is that the window is actually opened already. And you're just going through it. A rag, some bread, more rags. Okay. And if I'm right, you can go through there. You could drag this out of the way, but there's no way to kind of go through. So let me go back and over around, I believe, is the proper procedure here. Let's also keep in mind that, you know, my torch is limited, so it's not going to be on forever, so I do got to keep in mind of that. And I think what we want to do is basically go straight up and around this, like, crevice over here. There we go. Again, the game isn't, like, you know, straight up spooky. And here it is again. Here, there's another body. This one seems to be kind of, like, embedded into this tree. If I could say so that. Corpse examined. In a few days it will be completely absorbed. So yeah, it's the land, I think it's what's basically fucking shit up over here, which is basically absorbing stuff to itself and things of that nature. I should just left shift click. Here is what looks to be like a moose or a deer. Antlers. That, or it's like one of the victims from True Detective, one or the other. By the way, if you haven't watched True Detective, go watch it. Amazing, man. Amazing. Alrighty. Another indication of a body here. Let's continue going forward, though. What is up and above over here? Look around, make sure nothing's fucking creeping up behind me. It shouldn't be, but, you know, I can never trust this game. I hear it. The ambiance is really, really good. You could hear the footsteps, just shit creaking, like right there. See, that was like me just stamping on a branch. And we have a dude that seems to be alive. I think this one is still alive. Well, that's what I just said, game. Unconscious man. Let's search him. It's got a big metal key. I got a big metal key for you right here. No room available. That's unfortunate. Let's just quickly, I don't know, drop the bread or something. Bring the metal key, which is important. He's unconscious. The little rat didn't make it into his hole. If he's got the key, he must know where the door is. Only pests like him know how to get out of these woods. Of course, he won't willingly tell me anything. But this, however, doesn't really matter. And boom, shocker time! What's this? We're no longer playing as the dude that we started off with. Now we're playing as the, apparently the hobo, homeless, indigent man that we just found. Alrighty, wooden door is barricaded. So we're back in here. We're back in the house that we started off with, which I found to be really interesting. So now we're going to search these clothes. Got some rag and we just got some wire. There's no way for us to get out of here because there is going to be, the wooden door that was here is going to be, it's been barricaded now. Meaning the dude that we were playing as probably barricaded us in here. Why? Well, we don't know just yet. There's a trap door over here. In order to get this bad boy opened, we will need a lockpick, so let's go ahead and build that really quickly. And we're a little bit hurt. It is our health bar over here, so we could basically build ourselves a bandage. This will heal moderate wounds over time. And we want to equip that here, and equip that there. Go into one. Right mouse button, left mouse click, and then you'll apply the bandage to yourself, and your health should basically rise by itself. And this up here will tell you basically any sort of active skill that's happening right now. But we want to open this trapdoor, right? So, since we do have the lockpick, let's go ahead and hold right click or left click and then just use lockpick. We unlocked it, an entry to a small cellar probably for storing food. Let's search this bad boy, and we found ourselves a flashlight, which is going to come really handy, and a shovel. Alrighty. Still no way to get out of here though, unless we actually use our shovel to... Surprise, surprise, open the barricade. And again, the health for the actual item that you're smashing is going to be in the bottom. We broke it, but at the same time we did break our shovel, so that is going to be a cause for concern. For now, let's switch over to our flashlight. And of course, lights are now off. That's very reassuring. Now, something I want you guys to take note of is... Well, it's on right now. Never mind. I'll get to it when I get the chance. So right now we're just going to basically look around. There's going to be some screaming in the background. It's always reassuring for somebody that's a coward like I am. Let's go ahead and drag this out of the way. Alright, stop dragging. Let's open this door up. And yeah, that is another indigent man here. It's on a metal bed. Let's examine him. I don't want to... Let's open the dude up. Let's examine him. The figure on the bed is wearing a worn coat and weathered hat. Like, it's supposed to say his eyes, but it says he is eyes. Alright, never mind. His eyes are fixed on the hilt of the scalpel stuck in his forehead. Warm wax drops from the wound onto the metal surface. I don't recognize his face, but I know who he is. Okay, you don't recognize his face, but you know who he is. Alright. So, it seems that whoever we're playing it with now is kind of gone a little bit batshit insane, if you ask me. He's basically kidnapping homeless men, so I'm not sure what his problem is. Let's equip that. We have a lockpick, some more wood, nail, and a dog tag. This is going to be really important to the game, I want to say, but we'll get into that later. Alrighty, let's move around here. And oh, homeless man is no longer there. That's really terrifying. Right. This will tell you, if you want to refill the, if you want to reload your flashlight with batteries, press R if you have batteries in your inventory, obviously. So right now, basically, we have to refill the generator because the light is off, so let's do so. And again, it will do this by just holding down right mouse button when you have the item equipped, holding down left, and there you go, the tank is empty. But at least we got the generator on, bad boy is now on, and now it's a little bit less creepy at the very least. Alrighty. At the very least, we could also unequip or turn off our flashlight since we don't need it right now, since things are on. Alrighty. So we're good. Our next destination is here. Open this door, it's locked. I could open it with a lockpick. Who's there? Not sure who the fuck you are, but I'm not really liking the cut of your jig. So right here, let's really quickly build a plank with nails. Let's equip it instead of our shovel because our shovel was broken anyway. And we do have a lockpick here that we're going to probably use for this endeavor. Alrighty, use lockpick right here. Let's actually face the door when you do that though, huh? How about that? Alrighty. Help me. Well, what do you need help with, man? I mean, just let me know. I mean, you mean the doctors? Are you sure? I don't think there's any doctor. Come closer. Yeah, you sound really reassuring as to what's happening here. What do you want? Okay, hey. What's your problem, alright? Let me just, load up and hit you with this plank with a nail. It'll make you feel better, I'm sure. Let's search him. He's got nothing. But he's dead now. And here is where it all starts, so I'm gonna shut up now. And there you go, that is the prologue, or the tutorial for Darkwood itself. So, you do start off as the same dude that you were in. Of course though, is that really what's happening here? Who knows? Again, there's a lot still to the game, there's a lot of lore I think really embedded into the game, which we'll basically try to find out and try to examine as we kind of go along. Right now I'm going to call it an episode here though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I assure you, go ahead. Leave a thumbs up, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the game, let me know if you have any sort of differences of what I mentioned and anything to that degree. Open discussion is really available, especially for a game like this, which I find really, really interesting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stick around, we're going to basically continue going with Darkwood a bit longer and see what's up. hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will catch you next time.